Alright, this one's gonna be quick because it's a small game, but holy shit, you need to play this one. Bad Blood is a local split-screen game of brutal hide-and-seek from the mind of Winnie Song. Previously, Song has made a handful of small experimental games, and the biggest things that really tie all of her works together are the unique mechanics and how very different each game is from the last, and, you know, all games in general. Actually, they're just really different. In Bad Blood, you sit down next to one of your friends, you both pick your characters, and then you both get dropped into opposite corners of a randomly generated map filled with tall grass and flecked with various kinds of landmarks, and, if you're unlucky, thorned bushes. The goal is simple: find your opponent and get them without getting got. On the surface, it really is as clear-cut as that, but as you play, you'll begin to realize that while Bad Blood doesn't have a very wide scope, it most certainly has plenty of depth to explore and learn. As a quick side note, just because I need to say this game is beautiful. I don't have any good critiques about the art. It's just, I just really need to go out of my way to make sure that you know how good this game looks. All right, let's start with the map because it's pretty interesting. Like I said, both players spawn on opposite corners of the map. Once you're in, player 2's map rotates so that the direction of both players' norths are different in relation to themselves, i.e. player 1's north is up and player 2's north is to the right. As both players move around the map, you'll notice landmarks, things like radio towers or rocks or little ponds. These are on the same grid space for each player, but due to the camera rotation, if you notice it on your opponent's screen, you still have to do some thinking to figure out where it is and how you get to it. In addition to that, there are thorned bushes on the map that make you shout and keep you in place for a few seconds should you run into them. Last bit about the map, the grass is there for a reason. If you move too fast, you'll not only rustle the grass, but you can damage it and leave a trail of sorts. Each character has a different speed they can move without rustling or damaging the grass, so learning each character is important. The whole map and movement systems are great because they work in a way that makes it clear that they know you're going to look at the other player's half of the screen, and it encourages that behavior while also making you have to actually work to really gain anything from it. The hazards, like the bushes, keep you from focusing entirely on the other player's screen, meaning that you'll be bouncing your attention back and forth as you try to hunt them down. Both players also have the ability to zoom their camera in, limiting their view but also limiting what the other player can see around them, making it more difficult for the opponent to figure out where they are using landmarks, but you know, it limits their vision as a trade-off, so it's really interesting. Now, there are 4 characters total in Bad Blood, and once a player chooses a character, the other player can't pick that same character. In addition to the different move speeds I mentioned earlier, each character also has a single special ability. Hitwoman easily has my favorite design. She can attack the space she's in and has a decent move speed. Her special ability is called One Bullet, and it's basically just a single shot that can be fired up, down, left, or right. If the other player is in her line of sight and there's nothing in the way, it counts as a kill. The mechanic is another awesome design. I think she's the slowest of the characters, and she can charge an attack to hit up to 2 spaces away, either left, right, up, or down. Her ability has her place a trip-activated flashbang that goes off if the other player steps in any of the squares around it, blinding them. If you place it and remember where it is, then when it goes off, it serves as a big help in finding your enemy. The kid is the friendliest of the bunch. He can attack up to a space away and moves the fastest out of any of the characters. His ability allows him to listen to get a directional marker for a short period of time that shows where the other player is. The hunter is the last of the characters, and he likes dogs just a little bit. He's faster than the mechanic, but he shakes grass pretty easily. Like the mechanic, he can also attack up to 2 spaces away with the charge. His ability allows him to summon up a dog that'll hunt down and point out the location of your enemy for a few seconds as long as they're nearby. There are 2 ways to play as well. There's the standard find and kill mode that's kind of a deathmatch, first person to the set score wins, and then there's the hunting season mode where players take turns hunting and hiding. The hiding player can't attack and has to focus on not being found. After a few seconds, the roles switch, leading to some very interesting and close rounds. This is definitely my preferred mode. It feels more dynamic and more more intense. It's so much fun. I'm sure you can see what I meant earlier when I said that the game is simple on the surface. All of these little rules and functionalities of the game, combined with the small but diverse cast of characters, makes for something that's honestly insanely deep. My biggest complaint about Bad Blood is that the keyboard controls are honestly really awkward. If you have the left side of the keyboard, it's not too bad, but if you have both players using the keyboard, it's honestly more confusing than it should be. The best way to play Bad Blood is with both players on controllers, and I highly recommend it, though it should be noted that you may want to use a PlayStation 4 controller. It may be just me, but my Xbox One controller has been having issues with the game where it thinks I'm constantly inputting a direction and it doesn't work. It may just be me, like I said, but just precautions, blah blah blah. Despite the minor control issues, Bad Blood is an insanely intense game of hide and seek. The entire style and attitude of the game is unique and absolutely beautiful, with a wide array of colors and angular designs all around. The gameplay is easy to learn but hard to master, making it a great game to take turns at with a group of friends or even just to have somebody over and play it with. This is one of those rare times when I feel that online capabilities wouldn't really help a game much and may actually hurt it. Half of the fun of Bad Blood comes from sitting right next to the person that you're playing with, so I'm glad that it's all local. You can pick up Bad Blood on Steam for about $8. If you want a crazy way to play hide and seek with a friend, then this one's for you. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you have any indie games that I should check out, then please shoot them my way. You can leave a comment down below, or you can drop me a line on Twitter. My handle's @forkh, or you can shoot me an email at fork4h@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Bye!